If you're new to our channel, we're building a 52-foot sailboat inside the barn on our farm in the south of Sweden. We've been building for 3 years and are currently working on finishing the forward cabin. So this is the teak that Johan ripped and planed the other day. But now we're leaving the farm for a couple of days. We're in Amsterdam. We're here to visit the Metstrade again.
Here's our hotel.
Yeah.
How many floors?
4th floor. No elevator. Vertical.
Vertical stairs.
The daily workout is done. Terrace. A flooded one. National Museum over there. Beautiful building. Amsterdam is such a charming city and it's so easy to walk around. This year we decided to spend all 3 days at Metstrade to have more time to really look at everything. And Metstrade is the world's biggest show for marine equipment and gear. The show consists of 12 exhibition halls with more than 1,700 exhibitors. Den bara går upp av sig själv.
Ja, men den var nice.
Och sen kan den inte trilla ner.
Nej, den är riktigt rejäl.
This is a really sturdy hatch. It would be so nice to have flush hatches, but it is much more complicated and much more work with it because you have to solve a drainage solution here so that the water and dirt that collects here has to be able to go somewhere. So we'll see if we can find a solution for that.
So we calibrate the device in our laboratory in Cows.
De är ju skitfina.
Ja.
Sänglampor.
Yeah.
Some bedlights. Maybe.
I like the leather covering here.
Och så är det musbä.
Ja, det var ju smart. Alltså, kolla dem på pennan.
We need to have this for the barn. For the roof.
Det är en kontroll. Vad gör? Det måste vara skall. De har ju slangen där. Our plan this year was to go up and down every aisle in every hall. But it is just so big and there's so much to look at and people to talk to, so I don't think we managed to see everything. But we walked like 14,000 steps a day. Since we focused so much on looking at gear, we didn't film as much, but it was a very useful couple of days, which also gave us some great connections. Grader. Nej, 5. Ja. All good?
All good.
We're back home. We made it up to the farm.
Yeah.
We weren't sure. We were 2.5 hours late.
More, almost 3, right?
Yeah, almost 3.
Yeah.
Because of the snow that came. And now it's past midnight. We have Vera. Hey, Vera. Aww. Is it a mechanic snowman working for Volvo Penta? Making the most of the snow that fell. Ja, det blev bra.
So we're back at the farm after a week in Amsterdam for the Metstrade. It's been great having a short break from the boat build and also getting a lot of inspiration and nice meetings. But now we're back and it is a lot colder now. It's below freezing and you can really feel it in your hands when you're working out here now. And we've been getting some snow, as you saw, so winter is definitely here now. The plan for today is to start working on the base for the bed or the mattress in the forward cabin. And for that, I'm going to use this type of timber. It's called okome, I think also in English. It's sometimes used as a substitute for mahogany, or like a cheaper alternative to mahogany. And we have quite a lot of this, so I'm thinking we'll use this type of timber for places in the boat where it won't be seen, but we still need some nice timber. So I've been taking a lot of measurements for all the pieces that I'll need. So the plan for today is to rip and plane all the pieces, and if I have the time, start working on getting them installed as well.
Johan is using a biscuit jointer to glue the side pieces for the bed frame together. This is the piece that will lay closest to the hull side, so the tip needs to be adjusted. Checking that all pieces fit, and then it's time to route the edges.
Okay, so the pieces for these, for the lack of better words, frames are now in place, glued in. This will be painted white later on. And the plan is to have plywood in these frames, and they will have holes in them to let air moving back and forth here to get some ventilation. And then on top of that, we will have like a bed system that will create like a distance between the plywood and the underside of the mattress, so that the air can move freely here, so that we prevent condensation as much as possible. And then on the sides here, we'll have plywood with teak veneer on. That will be a part of the lockers that we're going to have on both sides here. And that will be the same up here at the head end. There will be like a shelf roughly at this height, and the front of that will be also with teak veneer, and behind that plywood wall we'll run conduits up for the bed lights and also some fans that we're going to have here. And I'm thinking that the next step now will be to mount these gap pieces, I think it's called in English, that sits behind the plywood. Once we have that in place, I think it's time to start cutting a big piece of teak that we're going to have here at the foot end. Pretty wide or tall, 250 millimeters, and quite thick, around 50 millimeters. Once we have that in place, I really need to go and get some plywood with teak veneer on it for the sides and for that wall up here.
The snow only lasted for 2 days, and now we're back to rain and grey skies.
Okay, so it's time to start preparing some teak for that front section of the bed frame. And yeah, I just have to say how much I love the smell of teak. Everyone has worked with teak knows what I'm talking about. It has a very distinct scent, quite unique, which I really love. And of course there are downsides with teak. It blunts the tools pretty quickly because there is a lot of silica and oils in this, and that will blunt even carbide tipped blades, and a lot faster than other types of timber. Yeah, and another thing is that after a day of working with teak, you get the feeling that you have like an oily film on your skin. You really want to take a shower, especially if you've been sanding this a lot, because of course that fine dust from the teak with a lot of oils in it gets up in the air and it gets in your skin. But besides that, I really love working with this type of timber. Det är för röstjärnen. Det är det som håller uppe masten, kan man säga. So because teak is a very oily wood, it doesn't glue very well, so that's why I'm wiping it down now with acetone before I'm going to glue it with some epoxy. And I'm using epoxy because, at least to my knowledge, it's the glue that gets the best grip and high strength in gluing oily woods like teak. I just need to remove the top layer of oil here in the wood. So I'm going to wipe it down like this a couple of times and let the acetone flash off, and then apply the epoxy and clamp it down. The only downside of using epoxy is that glue line can get yellow over time because it's not UV stable. But in this case it's indoors, and we will have some varnish protecting that glue line from any UV light, so it should be okay. And also, even if it yellows a little bit, I think that's okay because teak has a pretty dark color to it, so I don't think it will be visible. Yeah, you can see here, this is the oil from the teak dissolves with the acetone. And it can be tempting to use alcohol for this, but the way I have learned this is that acetone dissolves the oils in teak a lot better than ethanol or isopropanol, that type of alcohol. So yeah, another good thing with epoxy is that you don't need a lot of clamping pressure when gluing with it. So clamps like these are perfectly fine. Yeah, quite a lot of squeeze outs, a bit too much of the epoxy, but I guess it's better to be on this side than to have a starved joint. I'll just wipe this off a bit. Even if this is quite messy, it's a lot better to wipe it off now than to have a really uneven and hard surface with epoxy and have to run that through the planer. I have to say I like this tool. It's like a measuring device for measuring what radius you have on a surface like this. And I have forgotten what radius we had on the outside here, and it's 100 millimeters. Pretty neat.
That looked worse than it was. No fingers were close to the blade. What a perfect fit. The reason to why this piece is quite thick is because it's going to cover the watertight bulkhead underneath. The foot end piece also got the edges routed.
So I'm making these, what should you call them, centerline support brackets. It's for the bed. In the front section, that plywood sheet that's going to sit underneath the mattress, it's quite wide and quite big. So we need to have something in the middle there that supports that plywood sheet. But that support needs to be removable so that we can access that big hatch, the watertight hatch that we have in the bottom of that compartment. And it's the same for the jet thruster compartment where we have the actual pump. I'm going to have a support there in the middle as well.
The support brackets are done, and now Johan will make the pieces which the brackets will be mounted on.
Well, I think that's it for this week's episode. Next thing now will be to start working on the sides here and also the lockers. So I need to get some plywood for that. Teak plywood for the sides and the head end of the bed. And the plan is to go and get that tomorrow, but that will be for next week's episode. So we hope to see you back here next week. And until then, take care. And as always, thanks a lot for watching, and a massive thank you to all of our patrons for supporting our videos. Take care. Bye bye.